Day at Berkeley about, let's see, 2010? I'm looking at Sean because that was the first year of CSTA. So I think it was about 8 years ago. We founded this idea with bringing together as many students in the Bay Area as we could to UC Berkeley to engage them and share with them the wonders, the amazing things you can do with computer science, and not just a passive way where you watch a movie and you say, well, those people do it, but I can't do it, but in a very active way where students are actually getting some hands-on activities. You're going to be doing such amazing, let me just maybe turn the music down on this if I can here so I don't overwhelm my thing. Laptop volume. Okay. So your day is going to be completely filled with engaging, amazing activities. There's going to be 2 groups. So we have 500 students here today. I'm so excited. They're not all here. They're still arriving. They're still coming in from the bar, and they're maybe checking it outside. But we are going to have an amazing day. So in the past, when we started this, we brought in 250 students, and we basically had them follow all together the same thing. We had a big plenary session here where we welcomed them and gave them a couple of interesting talks and set the day up. And then we would go and do something in the morning, maybe workshops in the morning, and then have kind of more of a show of all the things we've done in the afternoon. And we said, we want to get bigger. We want to go much bigger than that. So how can we do 500 students? And when I actually gave a talk at the Computer Science Teachers Association conference, and I talked to Cameron Wilson. Cameron Wilson worked at ACM, and he was part of the group that actually created Computer Science Education Day. By the way, you know this is a worldwide event. This is Computer Science Education Week. We particularly make one amazing day, CS Education Day, but this whole week is CS Education Week nationally. It's actually worldwide. It's amazing. Worldwide, if you go to code.org, who's really done a lot of work in terms of marketing this and getting that worldwide reach, they're getting to, I think it's up to, 100 million folks, 100 million plus students are engaging with at least 1 hour of exciting coding experiences this week. So in general, this is Computer Science Education Week. What we're going to do at UC Berkeley is with the 500 students that we're bringing in, which is really amazing. In fact, we're going to do a little survey of who's here. I'll wait till a couple folks come in before we actually ask where you're from. We're going to divide you in half, and then half of you are going to we'll all do the plenary together. We'll all have some amazing speeches in the morning. Then we'll do a photograph, and then we'll kind of distribute into the 2 groups. One group is going to go into Bechtel Engineering, and they're going to hear amazing presentations. So we're going to have presentations from our course, Beauty and Joy Computing. Who's ever heard of the course, Beauty and Joy Computing? Anybody? Beauty and Joy Computing over here? So Beauty and Joy Computing is a course that we created. It's a non-majors course. It's a course for people who don't think they're going to be a major in computer science. It's an accessible course to anybody on campus. And we've picked the best projects from this course to show to you. And almost everybody in that group that's demonstrating today hasn't programmed before. You're going to see some amazing projects. So that's awesome. We also have the UC Berkeley Undergraduate Graphics Group. And this is a group that I help coordinate. It's a DCAL course. At Cal, we allow students to teach students. So this course allows students to teach other students how to make a Pixar short film. How many of you like Pixar short films? Any of you guys like Pixar films? How would you like to know how to make that? They're going to show you. How about that? They're not just going to show you their amazing animations they've made, but they're going to actually show you the process that they go through in a very short time. They're going to compress it, obviously. But it's almost like Julia Child when she makes a cake, where they're going to do this, and then we'll pull out a made cake. I don't know, nobody. You may know who Julia Child is? Nobody. All right. 5 people. Oh, guys, the audience. All right, Julia Child. Very good. There we go. All right. So we're going to do that. We're also going to have a couple amazing speeches. So that's kind of that's the kind of show you afternoon part. Then there's the hands-on part. So one group is going to do the show you first, and then the hands-on in the afternoon. One group is going to do the hands-on in the morning and the show you part in the afternoon. The hands-on part is going to be amazing. That's broken into 3 different pieces. One piece is going to be, and I'll save myself for last, one piece is going to be Computer Science Unplugged, where we have a way that we're really engaging volunteers from our own undergraduate group are going to show you how we learn computer science in an unplugged way without actually any computers. We'll have really engaging active activities that will show you key elements of computer science, and you'll learn this in a way like, wow, I didn't realize you could do this, and with card tricks and some other things. So we'll show you some of that. The second is a really amazing experience in which we're going to have a lab, and this is more close to the hour of code model, where you'll sit in the lab. There'll be lots of volunteers to help you. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. Tons of volunteers will be around you, and they will support you having hands-on activities in lab doing some programming, which would be great. And I know many of you come from different ranges. You're going to have folks in this room who haven't programmed just a little bit of programming. Some have been programming for many, many years. So we have different level activities, and hopefully we'll find an activity that really works for your level and you're comfortable with. Then I actually am one of the rotations of this active part, and I'm going to teach you about game theory. One of my research projects is computational game theory, where we take board games like tic-tac-toe and chess and checkers and Connect 4, and we actually use computer horsepower to try to solve these games. It's really wonderful. How many of you played Connect 4? Connect 4? Do you guys know that our group solved Connect 4? Do you know that we know how to play perfectly? So how many of you would like to not lose again in Connect 4, ever? I have a server online that we can pull up, and I'll show you during my lecture, in which you cannot, the computer will tell you what move to make, and so if you have your phone with you, you're kind of playing, you're like, excuse me, look at the move, and make the move, and if you just follow my computer's suggestions, you'll play perfectly. That's awesome. So, most of you come in here, let's see where you're from. So let's hear what the schools you guys from. Where are you guys from over here? Let's sweep around. Albany, and where else? Tennyson? Yeah. Where's Tennyson? Hayward. Hayward, all right. We've got Hayward and Albany in the house. Anybody else over here from someplace else? Liberty. Where's Liberty? Brentwood. Brentwood, all right. Awesome, all right. How about over here? Where are you guys from?
Gunderson.
Gunderson, where's that?
South San Jose.
South San Jose. Anybody else from someplace else?
Arroyo.
Oh, Arroyo, all right, okay. Where else? Where else? Which one?
Berkeley High.
Berkeley High is in the house. Wonderful. Anybody else here in the middle? Galileo is here. Awesome, awesome. Anybody else? This one, which one? Mount Pleasant. Awesome, awesome. Anybody else here from the middle that we didn't find? All right, over here. Where are you guys from?
Eureka.
Eureka. That's a trip. Good for you. Thank you so much for coming. Anybody else from any place else?
No.
San Francisco. Wonderful. Well, welcome to you all. This is an amazing experience. I really hope that you enjoy your time here today. Here's a question. What languages are you learning in your class? I would love to learn. Raise your hand and I'll call on you. I don't have everybody yell at once. Yeah, tell me.
ASL.
ASL. Okay, tell me. Spanish. How about let's do programming languages. I love that too. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. Because I speak Spanish. I also speak some Java and some Python too. So let's go. What other programming language you guys do? Let's see programming languages. Yeah, in the corner. What do you got over there? Which one? C#. All right. What else? Let's do hands up for other that you're learning, and not that you know, not you're bragging, but you're learning in class. What are you learning in class? Yeah, go ahead. Tell me. HTML. I love it. Go. Yeah. Anybody else? What other languages are you learning? Yeah, go.
Python.
Python. I love it. Come on. Let's see. Other hands. Yeah. Tell me. Which one? SQL. Wow. Okay. Courses in that. Yeah. Go ahead. Keep going. CSS. More and more. Any languages over here you guys are learning? Java. All right. Anybody else? Tell me. Which one? Hotlink?
It's a new Google API.
Oh, it's a Google API. Oh, of course, so a couple of tools and a couple of APIs you're using. That's wonderful. How many of you have ever used a blocks-based programming environment? Like Hour of Code, where you're kind of dragging blocks around. Does anybody know that? Okay. I have a question for you. Is that real coding? I'm really fascinated to hear the responses. Okay, let's have a hands. How many of you believe that blocks-based coding is not real coding? Come on. Blocks is not the real thing. Raise your hand if you believe blocks-based is not real coding. Raise your hand high and proud. No way is blocks-based coding real coding. All right, very small fraction. How many of you believe, oh yeah, blocks-based coding is so much real coding? Come on, bring your hands up high. Blocks-based coding is real coding. Now look around you. They're all right. Blocks-based coding is so much real coding. In fact, the language we use at UC Berkeley to teach the introductory class of Beauty and Joy Computing, which, by the way, has the national high mark, I believe the national high mark at 65% women. Isn't that amazing? National high mark with that. And thanks to the blocks-based environment we're using something called Snap, which is based on Scratch. You guys heard of Scratch? Scratch is a really fun program. So we basically took Scratch. Scratch was open source, and we took it and said, let's add some features to it. So we added some really powerful university-level features to it, and boom, it's now Snap, and now boom, it is it is the foundation for the class that we teach, the Beauty and Joy of Computing. It's awesome. All right, so we got the language, we got where you're from. Are you guys excited to be here? You guys excited to be here? This is awesome. We're going to have the morning program. The morning program, we're going to have a couple amazing speakers who are going to inspire you with some of their stories and some of their stories of how they got here, give you a sense of that, which is really amazing. I have a video I can show. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I've got a video I can show. Is it on the thing? Here, let me pull this up here. Oh, there's me. There's me. Look at that. That's great. All right, perfect. Here we go. All right, cue the video. Sound? Uh-oh. There's like 4 movies playing at once, I think. Do you want to try to?
I don't know what that is. X out of that.
How about the double movie? I love it. Fingers crossed. That was pretty funny. There we go. Okay, perfect.
First got access to a computer. My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984.
I was in the 6th grade.
I learned to code in college. Freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program and then basically just added a little bit to it. And then when we learned something new, I looked it up either in a book or on the internet and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something, or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but what isn't?
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. You have to be a genius to read.
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball or build a house, all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is computers are everywhere. Do you want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? It's just all over.
Here we are, 2013. We're all dependent on technology to communicate, to bank, information, and none of us know how to read and write code.
When I was in school, I was in this after-school group called the Whiz Kids, and when people found out, they laughed at me and all these things. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool, and I'm learning a lot, and some of my friends have jobs.
Our policy is literally to hire as many talented engineers as we can find. The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
We have a fantastic chef.
Free food,
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry,
play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office, places where people can play or relax, or go to think, or play music, or be creative.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I mean, I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
Just to think that you can start something in your college dorm room and you can have a set of people who haven't built a big company before come together and build something that a billion people use as part of their daily lives is just crazy to think about, right? It's humbling and it's amazing.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
I think it's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
All right. So this is part of Code.org's evangelism of computer science, and we're really indebted to all that they've done to kind of bring computer science to everybody, really to the world. This is great. So I made this myself. I programmed this last night. This is the I Love CS Ed Day. See, I love CS Ed Day. This is my little microbit that I did programming. So I just want to say, just kind of you can making space is also part of the computer science space. It's really exciting. All right, so let's get back into here and jump into this. All right. Boom. You guys excited? You guys excited? You're all quiet. Woo, CS Ed Day. All right, let's get going. Okay, so let me go here, get this going. All right, and then there. Okay, bloop, bloop. Let's see, reinstall Windows. This is the possibility. Let's see what we got. I think it doesn't play nice with videos that are embedded. Let me just try that here. Kernel panic. Can we restart? Can we restart? Will it restart and load the same file? Where's my support? Here we go. This is your laptop. Let's get this going over here. This happened last year too, by the way. I just Aww. Is that your dog?
This is just an excuse to show her off.
That's awesome.
This is crazy.
Is that funny?
Why is this happening?
Yeah, that's funny. Well, it gives people the time to kind of come in from the back if they're not all here for there. Okay, got that going. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yay, video. Perfect timing too. Could you go to the next slide? Let's go to the next. Let's forward on to that. There we go. So I'm going to act as a mini MC for the morning, and then we're going to have Emoju and Reynaldo be the MCs for the sessions in the afternoon. So without further ado, let me introduce Professor Phil Kaminski. We'll give you an introduction. Thank you so much. Hey, Phil. There we go.
To have all you guys here. It's really an exciting time in Berkeley. There's lots of exciting stuff going on, and you'll have a wonderful opportunity to see it all today. I should say, by the way, that I'm not a professor of computer science, but it's wonderful to see that they also can't get the PowerPoint to work. So apparently, we teach here. You know, I've got a few things to say to you, but I wanted to start with a little sales pitch for Berkeley Engineering. After all, I'm an associate dean in the College of Engineering. Berkeley Engineering is a great place. It's the best public engineering school in the country. I know many of you either have applied or thinking of applying to schools, and so I want to take a few minutes to explain to you why.
Your second mic.
This is for the recording, I think.
Does this also play in here or no?
Yeah, why don't you hook it up there? And I'll hand that to you. Thank you.
Let me just do it this way. Can you hear me now? I have to use both mics. Okay. So, as I was saying, Berkeley Engineering is a great place. Lots of amazing things. You're going to see a lot of those today. But I did want to tell you about a few things I do in the college, because Berkeley Engineering, what we do in the college is a lot more than just teach technical information. One of the things I'm responsible for as Associate Dean is ensuring the success of every single student who comes here. This is something we care passionately about, and over the past 5-10 years, we've made incredible strides in supporting everybody, no matter what your background is. No matter what your background is, no matter what you study here, we have a tremendous team that ensures that you succeed. We do everything from tutoring classes to leadership training to just last week, actually just this week, because finals are coming up for our students, we bring in puppies. We have a team of puppies that comes in to help the students deal with stress. So all of that we focus on doing here in the college. We have a goal in the College of Engineering. We say that our mission is to educate leaders, to create knowledge, and to serve society. We're very passionate about that. I think you'll get a sense of some of that today. And to do that, what we do is we teach people not just the technical material, but also how to be a leader, how to be an entrepreneur. You know that, maybe you guys don't know, more startups come out of Berkeley than any university in the country. This is something we're very proud of. It's something that's very much in our DNA here. More incredible research comes from here than anywhere else. And really, more than anything, I think you'll hear this mission today. What we focus on is serving society, making the world a better place. So I really hope when you think about applying to college, when you think about applying to an engineering school, that you think of us, because I really think this is one of the most amazing places in the world. So as I said, I'm not a professor of computer science. I'm a professor of something called industrial engineering and operations research. Anybody heard of that? Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks to the three of you. So what I work on is trying to understand how systems of people and machines can work together effectively. So for example, some of my research involves designing national package networks so that even in December, when the weather's bad and there's lots of packages moving in the country, they can all get there on time, in time for Christmas. Some of my research involves thinking about airline schedules and making sure that crews and planes are in the same place at the same time so that the airline network can work effectively. Some of my students work on designing emergency rooms so that we can get as many patients through as possible. And so, I'm not a computer scientist, but I think the important lesson is nothing I do could happen without computer science. I studied computer science in college. All my students study a lot more computer science than I do. And without the collective knowledge, without this knowledge of this very fundamental tool, we couldn't do anything we do. And in fact, if you look at all the things we do in the College of Engineering, there are people designing bridges or worrying about how to adapt cities to deal with global warming, or how to create green energy, or how to design molecules for more effective medicines, or how to build sensors to measure things in buildings or to measure things in space, or how to design planes, or how to design rockets, or how to design new materials, or new chips, or prosthetic arms. You can't do any of those things without computer science. Computer science is fundamental to all of these things that stretch far beyond coding. And frankly, although I'm in the College of Engineering, far beyond the College of Engineering. If you look at art, or you look at design, or you look at the humanities, all of the students on campus can benefit from learning more about computer science. And in fact, that's why computer science is not just the biggest major on campus, but many, many students who never even major in computer science take these courses because it's so fundamental to everything they do. So I asked what I should talk about this morning, and I was told, talk about why you should study computer science, why you should go to college, why you should come to Cal, why you should come to the College of Engineering. And a lot of that you'll learn today. Basically, there's tons of cool stuff going on here. You'll see some of it today, and a lot of it depends on computer science. It's an amazing place. There's 1,500 faculty, over 1,500 faculty, over 30,000 students on campus, each one doing something a little bit different. There's tons of opportunities to learn, to discover. You discover by succeeding in class, but also in student organizations, doing research. All of the students, certainly in the College of Engineering, who want to, undergraduates, can participate in path-breaking research. We have 80 clubs in the College of Engineering where students do everything from fighting for social justice to building rockets to, there's honor societies and affinity groups. This is really a great, big, amazing place. We're doing really cool things. What you saw the slide, there's lots of jobs available. But you know, that it should be pretty clear to you, and I think you'll learn over the course of the day why you should come to a place like this, why you should study computer science. But you may wonder why I'm here, why I care if you come here to study computer science. And to tell you the truth, the reason is a little bit selfish. You know, you may have been aware there's a lot of challenges we're facing in the world right now. There's challenges in energy, there's challenges in the environment, there's challenges in politics. And it's pretty clear to me that computer science will play a big role in addressing all of these challenges. But computer science isn't enough. It's not just a few students studying computer science that are going to change this. It's incredibly big, diverse teams. I passionately believe, and I think most of us in the College of Engineering and on campus passionately believe that we can only solve the challenges of society if the people solving those challenges look like society. If we have diverse teams with a set of diverse skills and diverse backgrounds, we need people different in every possible way, studying computer science and studying engineering and solving the problems of the world. I have a 10-year-old at home, and the only way he's going to have a world to live in that's the world that I want him to live in is if all of you and people like you and your friends and people not like you at all are passionate about computer science and passionate about all the subjects that we offer here in Berkeley. So I absolutely urge you to take advantage of everything you see here today. Try to think about, as you learn things, try to think about how all the things you learn, all the things you see can, you know, whatever you're passionate about, you can use the things that you learn, the things that you see to take what you're passionate about and really change the world. I should also point out, Dan was a little bit modest, right? Sure, there's lots of computer science days, it's Computer Science Week all over the country, but you guys are very lucky, right? Your computer science day is in the very best place to study computer science in the entire world. There's nobody else, and all the computer science days going on, there's nobody else who can say that, right? This is the place. This is the place it started. This is the place where the coolest things are happening. This is the place where the best students and the best faculty really advance the boundaries of computer science every single day. So please take advantage of the day, enjoy yourselves, think about applying here, and really have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
This is awesome. Wonderful. Fine. So this next speaker, who's going to come on, I'm so proud of. This is Emoju Miller, Dr. Emoju Miller. She was my student when she was here at Berkeley. She's so inspiring. She has gone on to now work at GitHub. She's one of the leading data science engineers out there. She has a very, very active public social media presence, and she's like a mover and shaker. Emoji says something is hot, the internet ripples when Emoji says something. So I'm really glad that Emoji did come out of here to come speak to us. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Emoji Miller. Woo!
How are you guys doing this morning? So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself and some of the things that I've done and how I got to Berkeley and how I got to GitHub. I was originally born in Nigeria, and I was lucky enough that my high school in the late 1990s actually had computer science. in their school. So I was one of the first students to actually take computer science in the high school. This was 1994, 1995. I think around that time, the first website had just gone up ever, around the same time. So this was at the dawn of what would be the internet. I came to the United States to go to undergraduate school at the University of Memphis, where I got introduced to the internet in a very real way. And I decided that computer science was going to be my major. So I majored in computer science. I found it extremely, extremely fascinating. And through my coursework, I discovered artificial intelligence. I took a seminar, a cognitive science seminar. And that seminar was my introduction into artificial intelligence. And that really hooked my mind because I did not know. You know, you learn mathematics in school, you learn algebra, you learn all the fundamentals, but you never actually ask yourself how they became what you learn. Why do we have mathematics? And that seminar brought the reason of why we have mathematics and what we're doing this pursuit. I was deeply fascinated. I continued to do that work. I graduated from undergrad, and one of my professors told me that the research that they were doing in some of the AI research around how people learn had been spun into a small company, and I should probably go and apply for a job at that company since I was interested in the space. I did that. I worked as a software engineer for a company that no longer exists. It's called Thoughtware. I worked there for 2 years, and it was a very interesting journey seeing research that you do in school become a company. Afterwards, I realized I still wanted to pursue AI even more, and went back and got a master's in intelligence systems. And we were working on figuring out if an environment was hostile or friendly by aggregating sensors and making sense of all the sensors that we had in the different spaces. I started doing that work, and America went to war with Iraq, and my work started becoming more and more towards the military industrial complex, and I wasn't quite sure if this was what I wanted to do because that's not why I went into AI. I was a bit ambivalent, I wasn't clear, and I did something that most people probably thought was a bad idea. I stopped and stayed at home with my son for 4 years, parenting full-time. And during those times, I really thought about what I really wanted to do. And I wanted to continue to learn how people learn. And so I decided to come to Berkeley, very lucky enough to be with Dan, and I did my PhD in computer science education, studying how students acquire technical knowledge, especially students who have been historically underrepresented, students that look like me, students that look like you. During that work, I ended up working at Google as the subject matter expert in computer science education. That was fun, and at the same time, I advised the Obama administration on something called their Presidential Innovation Fellows, that eagle you see up there. This is when people who are in like Silicon Valley go to Washington, D.C. to help fix government. And after all of that, I ended up taking a job at GitHub. Does anybody know about GitHub? Oh, yeah, okay. I have stickers. I have AutoCAD stickers, very special AutoCAD stickers that I'll be giving later on. So I work at GitHub doing machine learning. And the machine learning that I do is very interesting because we do machine learning on code. So it's natural language processing, but on code itself. And we want to study code so that we can build tools to help developers become better at development. We want to take away all the boring stuff and let developers do the things that are interesting. The reason why I have that BMW M3 in there is during my free time, something I really love to do is race cars. I haven't raced in a while, but I was part of a car rally, and I would race against the Porsche group, and would drive all over the country, and it's kind of scary because you have to sign a death waiver just in case you die, because you might die. But it was fun, and it was interesting because it's still software, because these cars have software in them, and you can jailbreak the software and unleash all the things the car can really do versus what the car is supposed to do. If you do that, you get out of warranty, just FYI. But it's funsies. And so that's me. I look forward to speaking with you guys more during our time at Bechtel Engineering. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I had no idea about that car racing. That is fascinating. Boy, I want to go. I don't want to be your passenger. This is a little GoPro video of me going, too fast. White knuckles on the This next speaker, I am just so proud of. So every once in a while, you look at all the people who are applying for Berkeley. By the way, Berkeley is the #1 university, #1 public university in the country, and #1 computer science program in the world. So that's what Phil was kind of saying. I wanted to remind you of that. So a lot of people want to come to Berkeley, right? So I work on admissions, and I'm looking at other folks who work with me, want to do computer science education. And every once in a while, an application just hits you in the face like, this is exactly the person that you want. I'm trying to do computer science for all, change California, change the country. And I met this guy, forget his application, actually met me a year ago, I think today. And I hit his app, I was like, this is exactly who I want. I could not imagine a better student. So this is Reynaldo Williams. Reynaldo has an MBA from Carnegie Mellon. Reynaldo is getting a master's in computer science at Berkeley. He wants to change the world. He wants to bring computer science for all as I do. He's amazing. Reynaldo Williams, man, take it off.
Thanks, Dan.
Awesome,
Thanks,
brother.
Dan. Yeah. How y'all doing today? I need you guys to wake up. I know you got up like 6 a.m. How you doing today? Doing well? All right. So my name is Reynaldo Williams. I'm a graduate student in computer science here. And I'm a student like you, to be honest. I'm not a professor. I'm not a working professional. I'm a student just like you. So I'm going to talk to you like a student. All right? So to be honest with you, I don't have many accolades like many of the other grad students here. I don't have publications, or some of them have startups and organizations. But there's something that's really important that I think is really important if you're interested in an undergraduate degree or pursuing computer science and engineering, right? And most of you are like juniors, sophomores, but at some point, you're gonna be a senior and you're gonna be in college. And there's one thing that really helped me when I was a senior and I got to college, and it's called resilience. Does anybody know what resilience means? All right, so resilience. What resilience is the ability to recover quickly from difficulties, all right? Resilience is mental toughness. When you get knocked down to your feet, you pop back up to your, when you get knocked down to your knees, you pop back up to your feet, all right? And so that's what resilience is, and I have to be resilient with this thing right here. So it really helped me in college when I was a freshman. So this is what happened. I was a freshman, I got to Syracuse University, and I said, I want the hardest major related to computers, because I like to take apart computers when I was in Queens, New York, in my parents' little house. And they said, all right, a good major for you is probably computer engineering. It combines computer science with electrical engineering. And I said, is it hard? They said, yeah, it's really hard. All right, so I got to the first class. I was 18 years old, got to the first class, big class like this, and the professor came out and said, listen, I want you to look to the person on your left and look to the person on your right. And chances are, one of them are going to drop out within these 4 years. That's how hard the major is. So I was the only black kid in the back of the class, literally, and I was like, man, I really hope I have the grit, the determination to make it through this major in the 4 years, right? So I left the class and I said, I'm going to make it. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make it through this major. And what happened was, throughout the semester, when I was 18, my first semester in college, my first engineering course, I failed the class. And it was really difficult because I didn't see it coming. It was a programming class, like a coding, like Dan said, some of you guys did programming and coding before. I'd never done it before, I'd never seen coding before. So I struggled a lot to understand how to write these cryptic little things and have a program come out of it, and I ended up failing. So after that failure, something happens. And some of you young people and teachers may have failed a course, and this is what happens. You feel defeated. You feel like you hit a wall. And what you have to do, in my opinion, is wake up. You have to wake up and fail forward. And that's what I did. Fail forward. Fail forward means you use the failure that you had to push forward so you could try even harder, right? It's basically like, listen, you got two options. You're gonna fall or fly, and you gotta choose an option. And that's what I decided to do. So I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I can't fail this class again, because if I fail, I may fail out of college. And if I fail out of college, I may go back to Jamaica, Queens, where I lived, in my parents' little house, and then I have to basically live in the basement, probably making ends meet with my friends on the corners who are doing drug dealing, or probably doing stealing, and I don't want to fall into that. So engineering was a way for me to rise up out of my socioeconomic status, which means have a better life for me and my parents. So that's what this F means. So I had to succeed and fail forward, or I had to go back to Jamaica, Queens. So This was a place where I said I'm going to fail forward, the libraries, Carnegie Library at Syracuse University. And I said, I'm going to really try my hardest to study all the hard classes, statistics, probability, discrete mathematics, and these are hard classes that you're going to see in college. Like, you don't see it now, but you're going to see it in college. And each year, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, I got smarter. I got wiser because I studied here. You see a lot of people here, but what you don't see is what happens at 1 a.m. when everybody leaves. But I was still there studying. When people are going to the football game this way, I was going right here to the library this way, right? So I could focus and so that I could make my parents proud and I could graduate with that engineering degree. So 4 years passed by, I was able to graduate with the engineering degree as a first-year college, first-generation college student, which means I was the first person in my family to get a bachelor's degree, right? So all of that led to amazing accomplishments. Those 4 years allowed me to work for the NFL, where I went to Super Bowls, where I built software for the Super Bowl and for the NFL. It allowed me to work for Apple, right, where I met Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, and learned how Apple built the company. It allowed me to get into this amazing school as a graduate student, and allowed me to be here with you today and tell my story. So to wrap up, a lot of you young people, you may be juniors right now, but in a year, you're going to have to put away the Fortnite, put away the Musical.ly, put away the Snapchat, and focus and be resilient. Because engineering doesn't teach you, isn't just hard to be hard. It's so that you can make your own Snapchat, you can make your own Musical.ly, you can be a producer instead of a consumer, right? So that's what engineering is trying to teach you. So I want everybody to repeat after me. I have what it takes to be resilient in college. Again, I have what it takes to be resilient in college. I'm focused. I'm determined. I'm limitless. I'm resilient. All right. Now, thoughts lead to action. Action leads to habits. And habits lead to destiny. Make sure that what you say today leads to action. And show us today in the workshops how determined you are, all right? Your parents are working right now hard so you could be here and make the most of today. So when your friends are distracted, say, focus. I'm trying to be resilient and make the most of today. Thank you. There you go.
Awesome.
Thanks,
awesome,
man.
So proud. So proud. All right, we're going to set you off. The next thing we're going to do is take a picture. I believe that was Thank you. Let's give a hand for all the speakers today.